Hello, this is day 5 of our reading plan through the life and ministry of the Apostle Paul. We read how he took a first missionary journey, and then he had to write a letter to those churches encouraging them to stick with the doctrine he had brought, the doctrine of freedom, instead of the doctrine of slavery to the law. And the issue that he addressed in the book of Galatians was legalism and how you can become a real Christian without going through the Old Testament law. Well, this really had to be decided and convinced all the way throughout Christianity, and so that's our story today. Acts, the 15th chapter, is the story of the council in Jerusalem where they met to discuss that. And after they had a lot of debate on both sides, there were a few voices that stuck out and swayed the crowd. The first was Peter. And Peter had had a vision, and God told him Gentiles can become Christians. The gospel can go to the Gentiles. After that, Barnabas and Paul also spoke and told of all the great wonders that God was doing among Gentiles on their mission fields. And the last voice that held sway, kind of sounded the gavel, was James. Now, this is not James of James and John, which were the disciples. This is James, the Lord's brother. Now, if you remember, when we saw James before, he thought Jesus was crazy and was trying to take him home so he wouldn't embarrass the family. Now, James believes in Jesus. He's not only a Christian, but he's a leader of the church. And later on, he is the one who writes, or actually probably before this, he writes the epistle of James. So we see God has done a great work in his life and used him in a mighty way. So, bottom line, the entire church agreed Gentiles can come straight to Jesus without going through the Old Testament law. There was a lot of rejoicing all the way through Jerusalem and in Antioch. And Barnabas and Paul stayed there and taught for a while. And then pretty soon we're going to see them heading out on another missionary journey. Be blessed as we study God's Word together.